This video is to help new players see the perspective of a squad leader and to show my reasonings of in-game actions. I will try to teach the basics for new players, so I may repeat myself often throughout the series. So whenever you join a server, you want to look at the two factions, check their uniforms, so that when you're in game and you need to shoot quickly, you can distinguish who's friendly and who's foe. If you're new to the server, go ahead and look at the server rules so you don't get kicked from the admin. Check the vehicles for the layer, so you know how many AT you'll need. The reason I say mic or kick is this game relies on communication. So if you're going to squad lead, kick out anyone who doesn't use their mic. Whenever you join a squad, always give out hello so your squad leader knows who has a mic immediately.
Hello. Can we get in your helo?
If you're on a kind of like a big map like Gorodok, Yeho, and you have helis on the layer, I would advise getting the helos to try to get the middle of the map quicker. Try to secure the locations, the common areas.
What are we taking?
Try to get a helo.
Yeah. Alright.
The problem with pilots is you don't know who has experience, so you are taking a risk. You may fly out and then you may crash, and then you would have to either grab a logi from main, a vehicle from main, or wait for another squad to set up a fob.
I'll do FTLs in a second.
So I always put all the other squad mates into Bravo or Charlie. That way, if they need to, they can pass it between themselves. If you're squad leading, use the left button. You can drag them, or you can right click. Just be careful when you're dragging not to accidentally kick them.
If we want to get more AT guys, if it's possible, if all the fire support roles are not taken, try to get AT.
So fire support roles will be like grenadier, lat, marksman, machine gunners, light machine gunners. You can only have 3 within each squad. So if you're a squad leader and you need more AT, go ahead and ask them to change, or if you need to, kick them. I give my AT to the FTLs, so if they need to mark something on the map and they need ranging, I could put my mark on.
Hey, squad 2, you're gonna be tank squad or infantry and tank? What's your plan?
Okay, Delta, you got a mic?
Well, I'm trying to tell
So here I am. I'm just giving a mic check, making sure who has a mic. Whenever you join a server and you get your vehicle, go ahead, use squad lanes to see where it could be heading to. Choose your map, then your layer, what faction you're on, and then go ahead and click on the first one. Sometimes it may or may not show where it be heading on the first, but sometimes on the second it will show. Example, like here or here. Squad lanes helps new players try to be relevant. If they didn't have access to this website as a new squad leaders, you may not know where you'd be needed. So go ahead and use this website to help you.
Alright. You hear Guru? Okay.
As squad leaders, it's best to put your move mark and put a fob creation so that other squad leaders know where you're heading to.
Yeah, anywhere near bunkers. If you want to do like in the West Forest, up to you, pilot.
I cannot land in the forest, there is a lot
I'm gonna go
of
smoke
trees
one
over
second.
there. I'll land you at the point itself.
If you join a squad and you're going to go AFK, I recommend you typing in the squad chat, the L button. Just say like you got a mic and you're going to be AFK. in case as a squad leader I didn't hear that guy.
Squad leaders, put your move marks so we know where you're heading.
I would say for Gorodok, you want to try to get control of radio tower, bunkers over here, or even the far east. It's more unlikely for a west lane. It's always, most of the time, it's always going to be the center or east lane. Most times that I played Gorodok.
If someone could try to get the east lane and maybe the middle. Is anyone grabbing the first flag?
The second heli's here as well, if anyone wants. Let's get in, we can go further north.
So if you have helos in the beginning of the game, and you have infantry in the lodges, I recommend getting most of your infantry in the helicopters and leave one driver. That way, if you need to, the driver can meet up wherever you land, and if you need to move off, or if you need to create more fobs.
If an infantry squad wants to get in the helo, leave one guy in the lodgy. We have a second helo up.
That makes sense.
Squad 8 or 5. And probably best to take the helo to the east lane towards, I think it's called Boris Farmstead, right? That K9.
Squad 4
Thank
or
you,
8?
Squad 8.
Do you want to...
Right. Eight will take care of back capping.
Squad
Squad
5,
eight,
try to
you
put
wanna-
a move mark.
use one guy in that lodgy? We can get to the point very quick in the heli. Never mind.
Okay, once we land, I'll have medic build the hab. I want AT to go north, and then I want some other infantry to watch the east side.
So the reason I'm telling them this is it is common for helos to land at the radio tower or over here or towards bunker. So that way I'm trying to get my infantry. I'm trying to get my infantry to look to the north and to the east. And if need to, push off and meet contact.
Call out if you see any helos or any armor. Remember, riflemen, stick with AT.
So where I said listen to auditory, this game in the beginning, you can hear vehicles from a distance. So the sooner you call out, you hear a vehicle, the sooner, example, AT can go over and hit the whatever vehicle it is.
If we get blown up, we have another Logia main.
So there I am. I'm just saying in case we die, because as I said before, unless you know the pilot regularly, always have a backup plan. Either get another vehicle or wait for another squad to set up a fob.
Or if another squad got a hab up, we'll see what happens. And if one guy wants to go far east towards that 3 diamond, just to scout it.
So always try to put your radios in hard cover. That way a commander can't airstrike it or can't get mortared.
Medic with me, we're going west. Medic
So generally, I don't. When I know it's like a hot zone, such as the bunkers, I try to get the hab away from those common spots. That way, if enemies were to come around bunkers, they can't proxy the hab. I like to, as a squad leader, I would rather have a hab somewhere on the outside of common fob placements or hab placements or flag locations.
Okay, remember guys, go
That
north,
way the habs don't get overrun.
go east. I'm taking medic to the west.
Alright, we'll go scout at the diamond.
Call out if you see their helos. Let's try to get eyes towards radio tower as well. Most likely they got the helo over there.
If you are going to be squad leading and you're new to squad leading, go ahead and say in the beginning of the game that you are new and ask questions where you should head to. Usually for new squad leaders, try to do the back caps. I don't recommend getting a radio down on the back caps since radios are now 20 tickets. If the enemy knew what they were doing, there's several, like squad lane showed, there were several first flags it could be, and it would only take an engineer or just a few people to find the radios and destroy them, since no one will be defending the back caps.
Here, an enemy
So
launch
try to
pad.
save the construction. Don't set a radio down, or at least near the back caps. It's a good idea to put a radio kind of closer away from the main base. So if Logis needed to get supplies or Armour had to get a repair station.
Took out half the people in a logi.
So heard saying squad mates say they had a logi on the north side. I had the auditory. I'm putting my observe mark to show where they're going. And when you're communicating to other squads, you want to first hear or listen to what your squad has to say, or if you need to hear other squad leaders give out information. That way you can pass it along either to your squad or to other SLs.
Rolling though.
Whatever relevant information they need to hear.
Are we getting a hab on the Russian outpost?
As FTLs and SLs, always put marks down as soon as possible. That way the other 49 players can see what's happening on the map.
We don't need a hab there yet.
Okay, that's fine.
So that I was just saying, don't put a hab up. I should have said not to put a radio down. Like I said earlier, if an enemy was to find the radio on the back cap, no one's defending it, so that's a 20 ticket loss.
That hab come towards squad leader.
This game is about tickets. Each vehicle has a different ticket count from 5 to 15, and then the infantry 1 ticket, and then commander 2 tickets.
Let's try to get eyes on this logi.
So right now I'm just getting my squad, or a few guys anyways, check this western side, just in case this logi is going to set up a fob. Try to kill the logi driver as soon as possible if you see him, so that they don't set up the fob. It's better to stop the enemies from setting up a fob, so that in case they wipe you and your squad. Another tactic you can do is wait for the enemy squad leader, to get a radio down. If you are lucky enough with timing, let the enemy squad leader put the enemy radio down, and then kill the squad leader immediately. That way he can't place the hab down, and that way you get another 20 tickets.
BTR spotted north of bunkers. Keep updating it. You got FTO, you can put the icons on the map. Okay, y'all two, you can keep heading west. Y'all can keep heading
No,
west.
exactly.
So I'm just thinking, as a squad leader, where can the next flag be? And if needed, I could get a helo pickup, just in case we need to move
Just
off.
go out about 100
That area.
meters. I'm just putting diamonds up. Just look north and west, 4 and REO. Look north and south. Unknown Logi went west of bunkers.
Squad 1 chopper, are you there, Squad 1 chopper? I hear something.
So there I am. The second flag showed up. I'm checking squad lanes right now to see where it could be heading to. See. So Slinky upper. And so now you can see it's a whole east side of the map.
No, it's an armored
Hey,
truck, but it is.
Are you able to pick us up?
not a logi.
Are you able to pick us up? Okay, guys, we're moving off. We're moving off.
Right.
Can you meet me on the move mark south of bunkers?
If you need to direct talk to another squad leader, if you have a full-size keyboard with a numpad, 0 to commander, and then each of the other 9 to the other 9 squad leaders.
I'm gonna get a pickup.
That way, sometimes command comms gets spammed. You have a direct way to talk to a specific squad leader.
And guys, we're not relevant here. It's all east lane, east of the river.
So relevancy, what I'm discussing is where we are right now in the middle is not relevant in a sense of where the flags could be heading to. So as we saw on squad lanes, it's going to be on the east lane. That means everyone in the middle, everyone on the bottom needs to move to the east to first capture the second flag, third flag, and then to move off to wherever the middle flags are going to be.
Everyone, we're moving off. If you're close to squad leader, we're getting into helo. If you're already north, you can keep marching east. But if you're close to squad leader, we're getting picked up by 7 chopper.
So of course, these 2 guys are already far out anyways. I told them just go ahead, scout whatever they want to. These 2 guys on the west, they're looking for enemy fob, just in case we could get the 20 tickets from the enemy. When you move off from an irrelevant area, it's best to dig down these radios. That way the enemies don't get the 20 tickets.
You want me to keep scouting east?
Yep, go ahead. You're ready. Far east. Go ahead.
Okay.
You know what? Burritos, go ahead. No, never mind, burritos.
So in my mind right there, I was thinking of telling Burritos to dig down our radio so we don't lose the 20 tickets. But then I also had the thought of, if these guys die, they can potentially spawn on the hab again. If needed, dig down the radio, resupply, and then try to find their hab. Another side note, if you're going to be AT, always have a rifleman with you so he can resupply you. If you're new to squad and the main classes you're going to be choosing are rifleman or medic. Like I said earlier, stick with the AT if you're going to be rifleman. Medic, try to stick with the rest of the squad.
82nd, it's up to you if you want to stay down or if you want to give up and wait for the new hab on the east. Up to you.
Over. Got quite a few infantry over here.
Looks like we got squad 8 on our east side. I might go to reinforce the west.
Where do you want me to go?
So I'm just looking at squad lanes or thinking to myself, where can be the next hotspot? So generally, Boris, Industrial would be, and maybe Radio Tower would be kind of like the middle flags to be contested. So I'm trying to set up where I should head to. We have enough squads ready. Getting the second, I believe the third flag is going to be around here.
Sure.
So I'm just preparing for the middle.
The third flag will be near Selinki Upper. I'm just going to put like the red arrow just in that general area.
I'm gonna be there, towards the west.
Yeah, anywhere where you can land is fine. If you're down, go ahead, give up. If you want to spawn on that hab again, use one more life to spawn on that hab. If you want to dig down that radio, go ahead. If you want to try to find their hab, I'm assuming it's probably somewhere there.
So you'll see that I keep opening my map every 10-15 seconds because the map will give you so much information. If I didn't have my map open, I wouldn't know that our ASLAV just died on Boris. I see them having icons on Boris.
I'm going to try to go do industrial.
So like I said, SLs, FTLs, keep marking the map so the rest of the team can know what's happening. If you need to, you can also use the team chat K button to let your team know what's going on.
Industrial yard set up just in case.
Hold
You will know if you're getting enemy fire from the dark border around your screen. That's your suppression. This is a suppression effect from the enemy. If you're getting shot and you don't have this black border, then it's friendly fire.
Hold on to your horses.
Gotcha.
Nice flying.
I'm dropping us low.
Great flying.
Yeah, beautiful. Sweat. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Be careful. Rotor blades do TK.
Get to the tree.
Oh, be careful. Tail rotors, guys.
Even though the heli dropped us in the field, it's better to try to get your radio or rally in the bush so the enemies don't, example, if I put the radio here, the enemies' armor or whatever don't see it in the open field.
Try to hover a little east if you can.
So if you can, try to put a radio in a bush or hard cover, somewhere hidden.
Hey, heavy machine gunner.
Most of the time, you don't want to put your hab right next to your radio. If your hab gets overrun, example, if the radio was here and I put the hab right here, if they overran the hab, they would have to look for the radio
north
instead of it
I
just
got
being
right
next
there
to it,
where the hab would be.
losing 20 tickets.
Rifleman, pick up marksman. Rifleman, pick up marksman. To your south.
Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. So you can set it up in your settings to have the roll icons on instead of the arrow direction. I believe just hit cap locks, and then where when the screen pulls up, you can hit the little icon, setting icon, and then scroll down to where it says player icon. That way you can see who the roles are. If you need AT or if you need to call out, say, hey, rifleman, pick up the marksman, instead of just arrows on the map.
Burrito, head to move mark, pick up marksman. Burrito, head southwest, pick up marksman.
So I'm just putting rally down just in case there were enemies already on industrial. If I was going to put my hab at the edge of the blue circle and I got wiped before I put the hab down, we could still spawn on the rally.
Thank you.
When you're going to put a hab and ammo crate down, I recommend switching to like a bandage or another item. The menu is kind of laggy and you will sometimes misclick and give off a gunshot. And if you're trying to set up a sneaky hab, the enemies may hear your gunshot and then attack your hab. So change to a bandage or something and then set up your habs.
Okay, the objective at H11.
So there we are. We're about to lose 20 tickets.
A Russian vehicle there, like an armored vehicle. So
Slither,
I'm not sure.
Enemy tank spotted north of Russian outpost.
Copy.
Keep marking it, Slither. Go ahead and try to follow him if you can. My squad, that you're your squad leader, we're going to set up on industrial.
Watch out! Tell Squad 8's Logi. Tell them turn the
Tank
fuck
to your
around,
northwest.
Dude. They're about to
So
drive
there is direct chat.
Northwest.
If that
Use your
guy's
numpad.
down that road, he's fucked.
Vehicle. Possible lab on it.
So I know you can't hear it because I have my audio down because of the hissing noise from my old mic. But in game, I heard a vehicle tire sound, so that's why I'm saying there's a tiger.
Industrial.
BTR.
There is a BTR somewhere near industrial, west side of it. Maybe in the forest line.
So there is. I'm marking it as FTLs, SLs. Keep marking armor, so you can let your other your other friendly armor know where they are and what direction they're facing.
Shot across the road, northwest.
This must be fourth flag, I'm guessing.
So I'm not sure. All these guys should be pushing off the hab. Don't don't cluster on a hab if you're building it. Only leave one guy to build it. Have everyone else off the hab, just in case there's
Enemy
contact.
chopper coming on Destral.
West. Southwest.
He's actually heading towards our farm. If you're on farm, look east. There's a chopper coming in. Heavy anti-tank. If you don't see any armor, go ahead, type in respawn or let it enemy.
If you find yourself out of position, you're irrelevant, you're not near the current objectives, you can hit console button that's under the escape and then type in respawn. It's like a 2-3 minute penalty and you lose 1 ticket, but it's better than walking all this way to the relevant areas.
Logi south, enemy Logi southeast.
So like I said, auditory, there's a vehicle on our east side now.
Main road. Heading north.
Always try to aim for the driver if you can.
Go ahead, blow it up, guys.
So the flag just popped up.
Get ready for that beat.
So there's 2 decisions you have to make. Either if an enemy had a hab set up, try to attack that first so that they can't keep spawning in, or to first capture the flag.
TR to push
Get
it,
as
guys.
much bodies as you can so the cap goes faster.
Still infantry on the Logi.
Hey, we're losing the hab at upper.
That's a Tiger or BTR.
Hey, my habs have been fine. My habs have all been on the point.
To us, to our position.
Tiger moving.
If you're on Industrial Park, please get inside a building and hide. We need to cap it.
So the reason I'm telling that, I don't believe anywhere on this east side it's capable range. I think you have to be somewhere right here to start the cap range. So on the top of your screen, it'll show whether you're in the zone or not.
Unless they're already capturing.
So that's why I'm telling my squad to first get on zone and then fight. Capturing the flag is more important so we can know where the next flag is compared to just killing infantry.
If you see the chevrons, I believe they're not on the zone. Like they're not able to capture it on their side. So if you're on zone, stay on zone.
It goes. It's the direction of the chevron.
Yeah. So try to get on zone, guys. Let's try to keep it. Yeah. Let's try to stay on zone. We need to capture it more important.
He's asking for what? Enemy bits?
There is
I didn't know you were aware of that.
there is a Tiger and a BTR on
Why are you
Industrial
so
Park.
quiet? Yo, man, you're really quiet, by the way. I don't know if it's just me.
I'm down.
The other one.
There's a 30
What's his
building
name?
to the
Like-
south.
Is that enemy? No, that's.
So the reason I don't give up immediately, being down is a good thing. It gives out information because you can still hear what's going on around you. So don't immediately click that give up button. You're going to lose 1 ticket. Of course, depends on the situation. If your hab's about to be pushed, if you need to
Don't worry
respawn
about the infantry. Fight on the
quickly. But most of the time, you can stay down. It's like a 5-minute bleed out. So you can wait for someone to pick you up.
Cap the flag first.
Go have a guess.
If you need to, these
fucking
buildings that
flag.
put diamonds on, you could get inside.
I'll be fine.
Just get inside a building, capture it first.
Of course, like I said, if you open your map, example, there's 5 Logi right here. If he opened his map, he can see the potential danger that's around him, so he would know where he would need to go. As other squad leaders, the most important thing you can do as squad leader is to put radios down. Let the rest of your squad fight. Example, 10 leader, he could put a radio down, and we could get another hab on the west side for Industrial Park.
Okay, losing Industrial Park now.
If you don't know this, the blue circle is the buildable area. I'm going to wait for yep. The blue circle is the buildable area. You can put your hab and placements or whatever. This gray one is the exclusion, meaning you cannot put another radio in here. But you can put a radio on the edge, and then that will create another blue circle, and then you can put your hab on the edge of the circle if you need to. Never, like I said, check your map. If that 5 leader saw that there was infantry marks on there, he should have diverged somewhere else. As squad leaders, FTLs, keep marking what you see on the maps and let other squad leaders know what's going on.
3 mark accurate south of squad 10. Easy shot for you, northeast of you.
Riflemen too, so lads and hats if you need ammo.
So the flag is now, I believe, it's either uncontested, meaning the enemies are kind of the same as the friendlies that are on the flag. So that means we need more friendlies to get on zone to capture it. Another thing that could happen is the enemies did not capture their... Oh, no, that wouldn't happen. If it was a neutral flag, you only need 1 friendly to start the cap. If it's a contested flag, then the enemies could still capture it. I don't know if I said that correctly.
Get on zone, guys. Get on zone. Tiger on the east of Industrial Park. Fuck.
So there, I just alt-tabbed, so I was out of the game.
Is accurate.
So if we were to get the flag, you would see the chevrons going up or to the right. If the enemies were on there, then you would see the chevrons going to the left, depending on how many enemies there were. If there's more enemies, then you would see the chevron. If it's, example, 1 friendly, 1 enemy, then it would just be neutral. So there is the chevrons right there, showing we have more friendlies than enemies on the flag.
Copy.
BTRs.
I don't think it's our squad, but please don't smoke the site.
So this lat had a good idea to check this east side in case another vehicle rolled up.
If a squad wants to get ready for K9, I think that's going to be next flag.
So we have a logi right here, a logi right here. These squad leaders could get in their logis and start getting ready for next flag. If this was to be the defense flag.
I mean, K9 is going to be next flag.
Oh yeah, Cowboys.
Yep, get on cap.
As medics, keep looking at your map, see who's down, who you can help, who you need to heal.
Once we can, let's start pushing to the north. Let's clear those infantry on the north of forest. Keep pushing north, guys.
So the reason I'm telling that is we have enough friendlies on the flag to capture.
The perimeter, blue circle.
Wait for the map to show up. We have enough friendlies on the map, on the zone to capture it. So that's why I'm letting my guys know we can start moving to this north side just in case there's more enemies there. Another thing, as a squad leader, try to put ammo crates on the edge of the circle. So if it's near a flag and AT needs to grab ammo, they can just get to the edge of the circle instead of coming all the way to the hab. Another side note is you can see your radio health on the top left and your spawn, your hab. See if it's proxied or not. It'll say spawn proxied or whatever. If an enemy was on the radio, you would see this being drained. But you have to be in the blue circle to see that.
Keep pushing north. Do I hear tracks to the northeast on that main road? Possible tracks northeast road of Industrial Park, unless I hear squad 2.
So whenever you're doing a call out, always say what it's referenced to, either a flag or of a squad leader.
Try to call out if that armor to the northeast is accurate. I hear tracks, but I'm not sure if it's squad 2 I hear. Hey, I'm going to pick up my rally. We're going to go far east, get a rally down.
So my thinking right now is, let me see once the map opens up again. My thinking is, if I was an enemy squad leader, I would be flanking around on this border to set up a hab behind us, and so, or even on this east side cliff. So as squad leader, I'm going to set up a rally, or if I had a Logi with me, I could set up another hab somewhere just in case this primary hab went down. We have other spawn points. Just saw, I think it was the squad right here at 8, I think it was. If you're going to do a tow fob, just leave maybe 1 to 2 people, one for the tow, one for the supply run. Don't have these other 3 guys. I think this one was from a tank who just died, but don't have other excessive amount of squad mates on a tow fob. These infantry here could be helping either defend or attack.
Yeah, it's accurate. I see something hiding over here. Oh, it's a tiger.
Go ahead, mark it. Let's go ahead and blow that up.
It's getting, yeah, someone just fucked.
So the reason this Logi that was here earlier and this tiger, it was empty. As a squad leader, I would say blow up these empty vehicles. Some other squad leaders will say keep the enemy Logi alive so they can't use it. Both are valid tactics, whether you want to deny the enemy using the Logi or if you want to gain the 5 tickets.
Hey, Delta, let me know if you need the Bravo leader back again.
Yeah, I'm good for now. You can get there as well.
There is a guy.
So like I said, I'm just setting up another spawn point, a rally,
Dirty?
just in case our primary hab went down. If I had a Logi, I would be setting up more fobs for defense flag.
Clear out that forest.
Always expect your hab to go down. Have extra spawn points around. Never expect your hab or radio to be alive. It's only a temporary placement.
On the long flank to get a rally down on the east side. If we want, let's try to get one guy to this far northeast diamond in case some armor rolls up on that main road.
The reason we want someone further up, if an enemy vehicle came up, we can tell our armor ahead of time instead of getting the enemy armor, seeing the enemy armor closer to the flag.
Logi on squad leader. Enemy Logi on the far east of the map.
So auditory again. I didn't have a visual, but I heard him, and there he is right there.
Hey 2, there's a Logi coming in southeast.
So if you see an enemy Logi, go ahead, track it down, kill the fob, so they can't be attacking, just say from this barn, they can't be attacking from angle.
Marksman, we're going south.
Try to meet them early.
Logi.
You'll see me reload in the beginning of the game, or so often. If I shot a few bullets, is sometimes I misclick on my reload while I'm in firefights. So try to have your gun ready, just in case you get contact.
There is an enemy Logi southeast of Industrial Park. I'm trying to hunt it now. It's probably heading towards this southeast building. Marksman, keep heading south. I'm going to rebuild this hab.
So we just got, like I was saying earlier, the hab just got airstriked. So now the hab is down, meaning the rest of the team cannot spawn close to Industrial Park. Only your squad can spawn on the rally. So as squad leaders, we need to be knowing what the team needs. These other squad leaders could be getting to the blue circle to set up the hab for the rest of the
Back
team.
up.
Okay, whoever that has dug whatever in their squad, please tell me to get back. I'm gonna drop artillery there. That's
Commander's going.
So commander's saying he's going to drop Artie. You need to relay it to the rest of your squad so they can know.
Commander's going
Of
to
course,
drop
there is a mark that the commander will put down on the map. But like I said, most players won't be opening their map every so often. So call out whatever other squad leaders say.
Go south to the moon mark. I'm going to get this hab back up.
Don't cluster tight together. Try to spread out maybe 20 or so meters in case the enemy wipes me. If he was 20 meters away, he may have a different angle to shoot the enemy. That way the enemy didn't wipe us if we were clustered together.
Never mind. Everyone's telling me the hab's down there, but be careful.
Anyone want to get a full
So there I am in blue circle. I can tell on the top left of my screen.
Can you drop a squad member off on my marker so I can get a hab up, or if you want to come there directly?
So there's several things. If your hab goes down, sometimes depending on the situation, if they find the hab, example, if the hab was right here, they could put their fob creation and they can find where the radio could be. So depending on the situation, if the enemies find your hab, you may want to dig down the radio and then place it somewhere else.
Good for it, so you want to lift.
Tell
Guys, there might be enemies.
Tell Space I'm getting a hab up if you come back north.
Or day 11. I had a rally around there.
Oh, Logi on the move mark, marksman.
So this guy is telling me to get the hab up. It was already my intention. And either this guy, he has a mic and his squad leader is not relaying the information to me. This way, when you use the team chat, you can let everyone know what's going on. Not as effective as comms, so that's why I always recommend having mic. But if your squad leader is not communicating information, you can type it to the team.
I got infantry also by your landing area within each other. Alright, we are free to
So even though you're a squad leader, you can still switch to other roles and get a role with a shovel. If there are no friendlies to build a hab, go ahead and build it yourself.
Squad leader to build hab.
If you had a logi, example, if there was a vehicle nearby, there was no ammo crates, you could go to a vehicle and switch to crewman, and that crewman will have a shovel. So don't wait for friendlies to help you build a hab. If there's an active ammo crate or a vehicle nearby, go ahead, switch, and build the hab yourself. Also, there are admins and server roles saying that as squad leader, you need to be using the squad leader role. So either say it in command chat or type it saying switching off SL to build hab or whatever you need to, so you don't get kicked from the server.
If you want to hold, I'm getting the hab up.
100% accurate.
Up to y'all. Rally's fine as well.
So whenever you spot an enemy hab, depending on how many friendlies there are, you need only two friendlies, 20 meters of the hab. And then it goes all the way to 8 for 80 meters. That way you can proxy the enemy hab, kill the remaining enemies, and then you can take the hab easier and then find the radio.
Okay.
And as SLs, we need to be creating the fob creation, put the fob creation mark over the hab, and then you can look for the radio.
Out of 11.
Go ahead, build it up. I'll heal you.
Hey, is any helicopter available?
Yeah, that'll be
I
one.
would
If
love
I
it if a helicopter came to me. Mate, if a helicopter
gonna
came
spawn
to me,
mid
that'd be
base
game
first
changing. Game changing.
Yeah, I blew that Logi up over there so you guys can spawn back in.
Is the enemy hab north of industrial active? Is it accurate?
Alright, we've killed one tank, the other one probably RTB'd.
Okay, if that hab is accurate, let's go ahead kill that hab. Was that Logi destroyed all the way?
Yeah, it was blown up.
Nice.
So there I am, just saying if the Logi was blown up or not. The reason being, if the Logi was right here, only need one SL to somehow flank around. He doesn't need to be directly on the Logi, but 30 meters from the Logi to put a radio down, and then they could set up a hab somewhere on this south side. So I always recommend destroying Logis. That way enemies can't be setting up fobs behind you.
Enemy our airstrike's about to hit that hab.
Another thing, as squad leaders, keep an eye on your rally in case it got burned. If the rally's not there anymore, it got burned, then you know enemy passed through.
That's ready, inbound.
There's a lot of guys up in that mountain range.
And another tactic, of course, is look at other squad leader rallies. If another friendly rally, just say, was right here, and you saw that pop or burn out, then you know enemies over there. I believe it's 10 meters to burn a rally. I could be wrong.
Squad 1, do you want to go to squad 5?
And I believe vehicles also burn rallies. So airstrikes are only effective against habs if there are friendlies to push the area and then find the radio and kill it. If there was no infantry push after an airstrike, then if there were still enemies around, they can just rebuild their hab, or like me as SL, if there was enough construction, set up another hab. So as commander, always make sure there's an infantry push after an airstrike.
Okay, let's keep pushing.
Everyone that's at hab,
As squad leader, I could ask the rifleman to give me an ammo bag. I could put it at rally so it's closer, or you can leave the rally, like I said, on the east side to see if an enemy passes through.
We have enough supplies to your east if you need ammo, repair station.
So I believe it's 600 construction for a repair station. Just letting the armor know if they need a repair station.
because that hab, that mark I put down is 100% accurate. Push in on it, take out their hab.
The repair station not only repairs vehicles, it also resupplies their whatever their primary secondaries are.
Is the Bob over there H9? Is there like gonna be a point over there? There's a lot of people over there. I feel like.
Yo, squad one, can you come to me, please? Instead of going over to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, the H10 hab is
So whenever there's an enemy hab located, you'll see most of the time the whole enemy team or friendly team just keep pushing from one direction. So go ahead, get your squad or a few guys to flank around, attack from a different angle.
Hey, 4, if you can, just keep an eye on this northeast road. Let me know if any armor comes up.
Or anyone, please. Anyone. It doesn't really matter who comes to me, as long as I can get the radio down.
I'm on your way. I'm on my way to squad 5.
I mean, actually, squad 10 managed to get a radio down now, so I guess it doesn't particularly matter anymore, but...
Let me know if y'all find radio.
Do you think I should just have tickets?
Just get a second.
There are some emplacements where, example, ammo crate, repair station. It doesn't necessarily need to be a hab, but some emplacements you put down, you can then put the fob creation on, so you can find the radio. These right here, the razor wire is not one of those. FTLs, I'm sorry, engineers can put those down outside blue circles. So don't rely on that. Look for ammo crates, repair station. I believe the Hasco bunkers and blocks.
Yeah, fuck it. Just get another one done. Yeah.
Yeah, I try and place it down when I get in. Industrial. I put it around.
There's a side note. If you put these emplacements down, you could technically dig down the radio, and I believe those like blocks I was saying could stay up still. But things like habs, I believe ammo crates, and say tow or machine gun nest will disappear.
Well, where do you guys want it? L12.
Somewhere on the moon mark.
So if you're a new player, don't be afraid to push. You need a minimum 2 people to proxy a hab 20 meters. So keep pushing, proxy the enemy hab. You don't need to be right on the hab, depending on how many teammates there are. But primary is to proxy the hab.
Hey, Rita,
Get close to the hab, proxy it. Don't be afraid to push. Don't wait for the enemies to keep pouring out. If you had your friendlies get close enough, they can't spawn in.
Copy. I'm in right now, but
Sometimes it's easier just to find the radio if the hab is too well protected. With the fob creation up right now, we could get a few guys to look for the radio if it's not right next to it.
Hey, Delta, keep moving north. Try to proxy this hab with burrito if you can. Y'all only need to be 20 meters at that hab. Oh, never mind. Got infantry west of Industrial Park. Nice try, nice try.
So like I was saying, if we had another fob on this west side, it would help the rest of the team be pushing and potentially even stopping this enemy push on the west side. So always create more spawn points, get them close to the flag, but not on the flag. That way you can have potentially 3 around the
May
flag.
have a hab somewhere near that gas station if someone wants to check it out. Ask your guy Buck to head south, look for a hab near a gas station. They may have one there. Let's go ahead, give up.
So I'm spawning on Rally. There's this infantry push on the east. If I spawn in Rally, I can help that. Of course, it depends on the situation. The habs, most of the time, spawn faster. It's usually like a 40 second respawn timer. Your Rally, you can spawn every 60 seconds, and then there are some other like penalties. It increases. So sometimes, just depending on the situation, if you need to spawn in the hab or Rally, depending on the situation.
Infantry moving towards our hab.
I'm just looking as squad leader. I like to be tied with the Logi vehicle, so I can keep creating fobs and
I'll
resupplying.
spawn at main to grab a Logi. Y'all could either spawn Rally or hab.
Like I said, squad leader's primary job is to get those spawn points up for the team. If every squad leader was dedicated to just attacking and not creating a spawn network, then if your example only spawn point was to go down, then there would be no way to save the defense flag. So as squad leaders, keep resupplying and creating fobs. So you only need 600 construction, 500 for a hab, 100 for ammo crate. If you wanted to, you can do 700 construction, so that way you can get an extra ammo crate on the edge of the blue circle.
Look for enemy hab near that gas station.
Just depends what you're going to use the fob for. If you're going to use it as a tow placement, you probably want just the 1200 for hab tow, and then the rest for ammo. Just depends what you're setting your fob for.
Whoever dies next, go ahead, spawn Pavlov's farm. I'll pick you up.
So I'm just thinking, as a squad leader, you want to set up for failure. If, for whatever reason, our defense flag failed or our hab failed, I can have a guy spawn on this west side. I could pick him up and I could get a western fob set up. So as squad leaders, always think of potential failures in the future to set it up earlier. So yes, there is a western hab, but that's what about 600 or so meters away from an enemy hab. It's not as effective if I was able to get a hab, example 200 meters away from it. That way, if we died, we could still keep pushing that radio hab. When you're on defense, don't stay right on the flag. You want to be off the flag, meet the enemies off the flag, example 50, 100 meters off the flag. If you die, you can then respawn and then push again. If you die on flag, and then the enemies have potential to meet you at the hab by the time you spawn in. So always meet enemies off your defense flag.
I don't see any enemy hab on the farmstead.
The hab I have at 10L mark is accurate. They're trying to come in down our hab.
And they know where the radio is at K8. We're gonna have to do.
So if a heli dropped off this squad 10, the problem with helis doing like sneaky attack fobs is the helis are not, they're auditory and visually you can see them easier than logis. So if you're going to do an attack hab, use a logi. It's much quieter and you can engine off, roll a little bit depending on the terrain, and then set up a closer hab if needed. Usually helicopters are louder and they would to set up further away from where you need to head to. And they could be shot down, tail rotor or whatever.
Sam, be careful. There's a tank somewhere over there.
The enemies will see the heli land and they could easily push that if they had a light vehicle.
I'll pick you up.
Sometimes as squad leaders you need to give a direct command. Like in the beginning I said, I need somebody to spawn on this western hab. If no one's spawning there, keep checking see if your teammates are up or down. If they go down, tell them to help you create a hab.
Alright guys, we've got some habs up on for farmstead. If some squads can start pushing farmstead, that'll be great. Please. Even though I'm not a commander or anything, but...
So like that guy said, he's not commander or anything. So some squad players will treat commander as just a guy with a support role like the UAV, RD, airstrike. Some will treat commander as just do whatever he says. It just depends on who the commander is. If you can tell he's a competent squad leader, he knows what he's saying, then you could listen to him. But not necessarily you have to obey what commander says. And like the squad 5 leader was saying, he's not commander, so you don't necessarily need to listen to him. It's just whoever has the better idea, whoever has the logis or whatever set up, whoever has the information to pass along.
Oh, hello.
Are we looking on Industrial Park?
Knight, go ahead, spawn on the industrial hab or rally.
Let's buy some rocks. That's pretty cool.
That's a toad.
Thank you for spawning here. We're going to try to get a hab towards the west. Because I'm assuming they have something at either a rally or something on the gas station.
Most probably, yeah.
So like I said, the plan is to get a hab on the west side to counter this other enemy hab. If it was an enemy hab or rally, whatever it is. And there we go. We just saw friendlies die on the flag right there, meaning the enemies are now, if there was enough enemies, they could potentially cap Industrial Park right now. So like I said, put a radio in a bush so it's harder to find. There is the auditory static though. So that's how, if you need to find a radio. Whenever you unload a Logi, always do construction first. 600 minimum. That way the squad leader could put his the hab down. Another thing I should have done was put a rally down in case I was to die on the edge of the circle before I put a hab down. Then this radio would be defenseless and we could lose the 20 tickets. So switch to another that like a bandage so I don't misfire.
I need infantry support on this tank, please.
Hey, Dirty, go help Squad 2. No, never mind, he died.
So I'm not much of an armor player, so I can't really give you tactics or whatever for that. But as other infantry squad leaders, we need to be helping our armor out, either to create their repair station for them, or to kind of give like a perimeter for their defense so they don't get either AT'd or mined or whatever.
Okay, if you die next time, let's spawn on J11 and push from the west.
So I already know there's enough people spawning on that eastern hab. So if I could get my squad to spawn on this western hab and then push this whole west side, if there was an enemy hab right here, push that, kill it, and then we can potentially save Industrial Park or needed to go kill this northern hab.
Spawn J11 when you die. I'm going to push from the west, clear out this...
and like I said, as squad leader, me personally, I'm not a infantry squad leader in the sense of leading my squad to fight. I'm more of creating the habs, having my guys fight, resupplying them.
If you want to meet me a little southeast...
Another thing as a squad leader is directing your guys where they should be. If I was not, like in the beginning of the game, if I was not competent, if I didn't understand the relevancy of where my squad should be, then if I was a bad squad leader, we could still be in the middle of the game, in the middle of the map, not really helping the efforts of the team. So as squad leader, you need to be helping your squad be relevant, either on the defense or the attack, or killing a hab related to those two.
That's enemy chopper, southwest industrial.
So auditory, check your map. If you don't see a friendly helicopter, that means it's an enemy helicopter.
You a chopper, a Logi to your east fob creation mark.
That's really close. They're still...
So I was asking to bring a 6 liter here, a radio. I understand this whole area is kind of a hot zone, but that doesn't mean that this squad leader could come somewhere off the hot zone, put a radio down, and then that potentially gives us another hab to get close, another spawn point closer to the attack flag. And it's in the middle between the attack flag and the enemy hab. We could be attacking from both directions if needed.
Okay, spawn on new hab, guys, if you're down. We need to get back on the zone.
So we are losing Industrial Park. It could be from this northern hab. It could be from this western hab. If you're able to kill the habs, then the infantry, the enemies on the flag, won't have the support or respawn resources to get back on if they die. That's why it's sometimes better to first kill the Habs, then get on flag. It just depends on the situation, what the cap is.
We need to get back on industrial. We're losing it. If you want to spawn J11 and push the infantry from the west, go ahead. But we need to get to industrial park.
Just hold it. They're taking the objectives ahead from us, so this one we're on, just hold it.
If you were to get a double neutral, you only need 3 friendlies to get on zone. They do not need to fight. They just need to get on zone and stealth cap it back, regardless of how many enemies are on your defense flag, if it's a double neutral.
Spawn J11, push from the west. Let me know if you see an enemy Hab, Burrito.
Tank shooting my radio right now. K8 Hab's gonna go down.
There is an enemy Logi west of Industrial Park.
Oh, he's
Flanking us from the west.
Yep, go ahead, spawn on the west Hab guys, push from the west side. Nice.
Wow, our Hab just got went. The North Hab just went.
So that squad leader was just saying how they had a Hab right here and it went down.
If we can get a Logi down on...
Of course, if you know your Hab just went and you're on this example, this flag, start looking north, northeast, northwest, prepare for the enemy to push. And of course, if there was a smart enemy team, they could be flanking around. So that's why on defense, it's better to have 360 visual defense, meaning look in every direction. Don't assume the enemies will be pushing only from one direction. Always have 360 visual. Have 360 visual around your defense flag.
Squad 3 will try to bring Logi on the east side if it's safe. Just let me know. I'm coming far east of the map.
I'm not entirely sure. We're going again north.
If y'all want to try to get where the South 3 move mark is on Farmstead, I could try to bring it there if you think it's safe. If we want to get a squad leader, head down there.
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, that's a good spot. As long as that Hab doesn't spot you.
So what just happened there, as squad leaders, we need to be setting up spawn points closer to your relevant areas. If you rely on this western or this far northern one, you wouldn't be well defended in the sense of if it was a closer spawn point. So that's why I was telling these squad leaders to come to the south. Only need at least 1 squad leader, and if needed, just 1 infantry guy, since I'm a squad leader ready to get the Hab set up.
You're coming up to you now.
Yeah, I'm trying to flank.
Yeah, do it.
So of course, I know there's enemies. They were attacking Farmstead, so I consider this a hot zone. I know there's enemies here, so I consider this a hot zone. Check your map often so you can see where the hot zones are, and if you need to diverge and then get to wherever your destination is.
Let's get a squad leader from Farmstead to head south on that 3 move mark. Bring 1 guy or so to build Hab.
Copy that.
The back of their Logi, I believe, is still, they can shoot on the back of the Logi, shoot the driver, so just be careful of that.
3, where are you going?
Getting shot at. Doing detour.
Come right up to the point if you really want to. It's kind of safe.
So, even though I'm a squad leader, I could put a radio down because I have at least 1 friendly next to me. But these 2 other squad leaders, they only need to be 30 meters from a Logi. So potentially they could put the radio down right now if they wanted to.
So, no, safe, I mean, like, not really,
Hey, there's a MBT hitting.
Go ahead, put the radio down. Put radio down. Watch out
Always
south.
unload construction, so get the hab set up first.
Southeast, southeast.
You guys want them back in farmstead or do you want them
So what that squad leader just said, should they build the hab right on the flag, or they should do it somewhere outside? I would say, of course, it depends on the situation, but most of the time you want it off the flag. That way, if the enemy were to push the flag, if the enemies were to get on the flag, the hab would be proxied. And then if the hab was off the flag, then you could get back on. So it just depends on the situation. Yes, we know there's enemies here. They could be pushing from the southeast. So maybe a hab right here is not a good idea. It just depends on the situation.
We don't need to spawn there no more. Go ahead, spawn on the J9 or farmstead. If you see enemy hab, go ahead, kill that on the industrial park. But we need more. No more.
So we captured farmstead. Now the next flag is butchers. So that means this whole southern area is not relevant no more. It doesn't matter if the enemy team is there. They cannot capture industrial park. Yes, they could kill our radios for the 20 tickets. So as squad leaders or squad players, we should know when to dig down our radios so we don't lose the 20 tickets. But you need to realize two things. One, this is a potential 20 ticket here. Let me clear this. There's 20 tickets here, 20 tickets here from the radios. So we can kill those. But essentially, everyone on the south needs to be moving either to the defense or help get these other squads to get ready for butchers.
Build. I need a resupply. But industrial's not relevant no more.
If I could get a heli out
Oh,
there,
yo, can I get a crew kit out of that? So I can dig?
So I'm just going to skip it here because I just get stuck on a rock and I die. So it's not really relevant. When you go down, of course, you can look around the map, see what's happening.
Alright.
They must have a hab somewhere to the northeast of Farmstead. We need to get squads to keep pushing.
Like I was saying earlier in the game, I give my AT Bravo Charlie leaders. So if they need a ranging mark, I could put my move mark on that mark, on the Bravo Charlie mark for ranging, so they could get more accurate shots and not waste their ammo.
From what direction?
I don't know where. I don't know.
Watch out, they're northeast of
Tank mark's
Farmstead.
accurate.
So we are getting pinched. Enemies on the south, enemies on the north.
Take that hab. I'll try to get a mark up soon. Further south of its current mark.
Watch out, tank is marked accurate to your north.
As squad leaders, you need to see what's happening around you. If you had armor and you have your friendly AT, get ammo crates for them. If you had enough construction, get the ammo crates closer to the edge of the circle so the AT can rearm.
It's pulling back.
Go ahead, put an ammo crate to the northeast blue circle.
I would say around the 100 ticket mark, you want to be more conservative with tickets. Example, recover vehicles so they don't lose the 5 tickets for, like, example, Logi. If a radio was out of position, dig it down so you don't lose the 20 tickets.
That's the hat. Or the radio, I mean.
Yeah, the radio burnt out.
was the winner.
So, my opinion, don't worry about score or how many kills you got. Try to think about your deaths in the sense of tickets. Think about how you gained tickets for your team, lost tickets for your team, how you drained enemy tickets for the enemy team. Just think of in a sense of ticket sense. Whether you killed a radio, you captured the flag. This game is about tickets, not necessarily kills.